I want to talk about this thing that the Lord laid on my heart. I remember about a year and a half ago, I got church hurt. A lot of things weren't going my way. I was in a really dark season in my faith. And while I was in that dark season, the enemy, he would try to tempt me with these things. The enemy, he'd put intrusive thoughts in my mind. He'd be like, here, try this. And at that point in my life, I was 21. And the enemy would tempt me. He would be like, these things brought you comfort in the past. These things have always been waiting for you. Why don't you go back to them? In that moment in my life, I decided to go back to that one time for temporary relief. And that thing built a stronghold in my life. That thing built so much bondage in my life. Because instead of going to God, I went to the booze. I went to the alcohol. I went and partied instead. I let my flesh lead me instead of my spirit. I did not practice self-control, and I didn't walk in the spirit in that moment. And I look back now and it's a testimony. But all that did was leave me more and more broken. I remember there was times in my backslidden season that worship music would come on, and I had to change it because the presence of God was so strong. It was so strong to where I couldn't listen to worship music, or I couldn't be around some Christians because the words they would speak to me, and God would just use them and it would just melt my heart. In that season, I was running away from God for about a couple months because of being hurt by people. But the thing that God showed me in that is people aren't perfect. If you're trying to find perfection in people, you will never find perfection, because the church is a hospital. It's a spiritual hospital for people. So my advice for you is, don't run back to the old life. Don't run to people in your time of need, but run to God, because God said He'd never leave you nor forsake you. And He can sympathize with your weakness. He was tried, He was tested, He was made fun of. He was looked at as an outcast or a weirdo, just like me and you. But I want to let you know that God's with you. And you can cast your cares upon Him, because He really does care for you. He really does love you with all His heart. He loved you so much that He died for you. And that's no light thing. Dying's no light thing, no light matter. But He loved you that much that He died for you.